Now, the news. First is a company called Lodestar out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. The gun is called the Link 9 or the LNK9. It is essentially a Glock clone with some ergonomic tweaks and whiz-bang stuff added to it. They refer to this as a gun that is built around authorized access, aka it's a smart gun. It's got a 4-inch barrel, it's chambered in 9mm, and it uses Glock pattern mags. The tech stack is either on the left or right-hand side of the grip, depending on how you order it. And the top pad on that stack is a fingerprint reader. Below that is a pin pad combo lock thing. And then around the bottom on the back strap is a light that gives you some idea of what's happening inside. And of course, it comes with a mobile app to configure everything. The gun ships with an inductive charging pad, 2 mags, and the rest of the stuff that you would expect. They say that you can store up to 50 different fingerprints in the gun, and while they do recommend charging the gun every day, you can put it into a deep sleep mode, which apparently makes the battery last substantially longer. I have a few concerns about this. My biggest one is that I don't want another damn app. I'm sick of apps. Everything has an app. Good Lord. Especially when it comes to my gun. Like, why do I need an app for my gun, right? Most of the apps are trash to begin with, but what happens if and when the company dies, right? Does that make the gun useless? Well, maybe not, because they actually have a decent answer to this. You can set the gun to unlock or lock by default when the battery dies. So you can choose what state it goes into. So you have a choice there, which is good. And the same would apply if the app is no longer supported. They say it's just a basic semi-auto handgun at that point. They do say that it is a completely self-contained system and that the gun can't be controlled remotely, which is great. But it does use Bluetooth to communicate with the app, and that means there is a pathway for data. They tell me the only thing you need the app for is the setup, but whatever. I looked into the leadership of the company expecting to find a bunch of anti-gun nonsense, but it's run by a bunch of gun industry veterans, so presumably there won't be any of that anti-gun nonsense. I know that's not always true, but here's hoping, right? The MSRP on the kit is just under $1,000. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comments. This company will very likely be reading the comments, so feel free to talk to them directly about your concerns. This is a great place to do it. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I am John Patton. Hello, welcome. It's great to have you here. I love doing this every week with you guys. Do me a huge favor. If you're not subscribed, please change that on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel if you're not already there and subscribe to the channel because we're going to do something huge. We're going to do a big giveaway when we hit 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I need your help to get there. That would be awesome. Next up this week, Charter Arms has a new series of revolvers called the Walker. These are rimfire wheel guns and can be had in either 22 long rifle or 22 Magnum. They all come with a 2-inch barrel and 8-shot cylinders. The frame is made from aluminum and the steel parts are high polished. It has a trench-style rear sight and a fixed blade front. These are available in blue, pink, or black, and the MSRP is just under $480. I suppose if you want low recoil and lightweight, something like this might be a good call, but I question the efficacy of 22 long rifle in defensive scenarios. I just don't think it's going to do the trick. I suppose the adage of something is better than nothing, I guess that applies here. Sure, fine. Carry a gun everywhere, right? In other handgun news, Wilson Combat has joined the plethora of brands that are doing a 250th anniversary of America guns, whatever. Their take is a bit more subtle than most that we've seen so far, which is nice. It's a 5-inch 1911 chambered in 45 ACP, as it should be for this. And it's drenched in serrations and texturing and lines per inch and hand fitting, and it's kind of the works for this style of gun. The first 25 serial numbers will all be hand engraved, and then the ones after that will be laser engraved. The hand engraved guns have an MSRP of $12,000, while the laser engraved ones have an MSRP of $7,000. They're absolutely beautiful examples of the 1911 platform, and are one of the few that I might actually want to purchase if I was like looking for such a thing and was not wondering why inflation is higher than David Lee Roth on a bender. Yeah, I can't afford it either, guys. In other more affordable limited edition gun news, I said more affordable, not like super cheap. Relax. SK Guns has the final installment in their Conquerors series of 1911s. These are based on Colt 1911s in 38 Super, much like a lot of their customs. These have a royal blue polished finish with 24 karat gold inlays and a fancy kyanite grip and some engraving. It's all themed after Julius Caesar, who is, of course, famous for his salads and politics. They are only doing 200 of these in the set, and the MSRP is $2,900. Again, I said more affordable than the Wilson Combat. In other news, Henry has teamed up with a company called Big Woods Bucks. I'm not familiar with them, but they seem legit to release the Long Ranger Big Woods carbine. This is a new 18.5-inch 308 carbine that has a removable 4-round magazine. It has a Skinner rear peep sight and a red fiber optic front. The muzzle is not threaded, presumably for states that don't allow for such things, and the stock is made from American walnut. It has a classic-looking lever-action vibe going on. It's a 308, and the MSRP is $1,500. This thing makes me wonder if we're going to start seeing a larger movement than we already have towards nostalgic, sort of old-school designs blended with modern amenities. I personally love concepts that do accomplish that goal, and I want to hear what you guys think about stuff like that while we hear from this week's sponsor, Wooks. Wooks has come full circle and released a classic walnut stock called the Elegante series. It represents the perfect balance of traditional craftsmanship and modern performance. It can be had in the standard walnut version, or my personal favorite, the high-grade walnut. You guys know I love that stuff. You also can get it with a straight comb or the hybrid version like I have. I really like that. They all have the aluminum mini chassis inside for repeatable accuracy. It's got M-LOK under the fore end and ergonomics for the modern shooter. It's as if someone over at Wooks understands the blend of modern performance and classic styling very well, and they all do. It's walnut. It's just, oh, chef's kiss. These look great. The Elegante series is pretty cool. Big thank you to Wooks for supporting TGC. We definitely do appreciate them. Let's keep it rolling with a few friendly fire questions. Now, if you're unfamiliar, this is a segment where I answer real questions from real audience members, and if you want to ask a friendly fire question, please put that down in the comments with the words friendly fire so that I can go back and find it. There's a lot of comments. It's hard to find otherwise. I'm going to hit a few questions this week. Jonathan Boyle says, what do you think the chances are that Smith & Wesson will bring back the old 3rd gen line of double single action guns? I think that is highly unlikely. They have a full line of pistols now, including some metal frame guns. And being that they're publicly traded, they aren't looking to rock the boat with risky moves like that, especially with the market just being a mess these days. I don't think that they would sell well outside of the 40-plus-year-old gun enthusiast community anyway, so I doubt they're going to do it. Richard Lyons says, do you think the industry will make FRT or FRS for bullpups? Yeah, I'm sure someone's already working on it if it's not already released and I haven't seen it. Probably yes. Story Ideas 81 says, what is your favorite over-ear hearing protection for under $200? That's easy. Howard Late makes them. I'll put a link to the exact model down in the description. They've been working great. They're under $100 and they work great. B-Boy E says, what company would you want to see tackle the 5.7 that hasn't yet? I don't know exactly which company, but I would love to see someone figure out how to make a 2011 style gun in 5.7. That'd be neat. And Zach says, where can I view GunCon videos? That's easy. They're everywhere. Go on YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform, and just search for GunCon. You're gonna find a bunch. You'll see a whole lot of new creators, some of your favorite creators. There were a lot of creators making a lot of content at GunCon. Just search for it somewhere with the word GunCon. My friendly fire question to you guys this week. I'm working on redesigning the TGC website this year, and I want your input. What kind of features would you like to see on our site? Would you like to see deals? Would you like to see our review charts posted there? Links to the sponsors or something else? What do you guys need or want on our website? What would you ideally want to see? Let me know in the comments. Let's keep things rolling with some accessory news, but let's do it fast. It's rapid fire time. Vortex released a new line of Crossfire 2 red dots, and there are 4 versions on launch. The regular red dot, the solar red dot, a solar red dot in tan, and the solar green dot. They all have 2 MOA dot reticles and a motion activation system, and even have some night vision settings for the level of brightness, which is neat for an MSRP of $250 across the board. A company called Saberdyne Systems has released a new iron sight system called the NDEX. NDEX. Basically, instead of a traditional front and rear sight with the post and the split, you get a rear sight, and the front sight is basically another rear sight notch style. So it's like this. The intended thing is that it's faster and easier to use and blah, blah, blah. MSRPs range from $140 to $150, which is slightly above average for pistol sights. Primary Arms has a new line of optics called CLX. They have the PLX at the top, then the GLX, then the SLX, which was the budget line, and now the CLX is even more budgeter. They have 3 dots and a slide riding pistol optic on launch, and pricing ranges from $150 to $220 MSRP. I love seeing affordable stuff like that. And Walker's released a new set of Razer Junior Electronic Ear Pro for the children. They are very similar to what they have for the adult sizes, but tailors the cup sizes to smaller heads and ears, etc. MSRP is $60 for those. As someone who says, what? I do that all the time. I fully recommend good ear pro for the kids. Please do that for your children. I am so deaf. And I'm going to end this one on a low note. Mark Krebs, the man behind some of the biggest innovations in the AK scene here in the US, and the owner of Krebs Customs, has passed away. I was fortunate enough to meet Mark a long while back, about 13 years ago, when I was lucky enough to do a 2-part video touring their shop at the time. He was so willing to share his incredible wealth and knowledge with me as somebody that was new at the time, and I will be forever grateful for that. The guns that Krebs puts out are top-notch, and I'm not sure how this is going to shake out for them as a brand, but I hope they keep it going in his honor. We will miss Mark greatly.